It was difficult, but I have come to a decision. It has been nearly 2 weeks since I realized what was going on. And I have another reason to hate both of them now that they live rent-free in my head. My family has been great. My girlfriends call and make up silly stories and feed me gossip to keep my head occupied, and I love them for it, but I cannot get Brad and Andrea out of my head. Apparently, they enjoyed a long weekend in Tahoe. And now the apartment where Brad and I lived has been put on the market, which means he has possibly moved in with her. A couple of the girls who came home the other day work with these two, and I understand that their entire workplace now knows. Andrea was even sent a nasty anonymous email that made her leave early one day in tears. I have been doing a lot of thinking, and a lot of talking with people I love. It has not been easy to arrive at this decision. But I have decided to leave them alone. I was determined to do one thing to report what they did to their employer. And the other thing I was on the fence about was to involve law enforcement and/or lawyers and press assault charges on both of them. I have now decided to do neither. A lot of you were insistent that I should make them pay for what they did, but I have decided not to. As for why, I do not think they are worth another second of my time. My time is precious, and I will not waste it on these two vermin. They will pay for what they have done, and I will be around to watch. At the very least, I will hear of it. As always, I am thankful for your love and support. I hope you will support me with this decision too. If you do not wish to, I understand. I begin therapy next week, so please wish me luck. And I will give y'all an update when something noteworthy happens. Update: longer showers and baths after being cheated on. Does anyone who is cheated on feel the subconscious need to take showers that are really long? I just realized that I have been doing it for days. I am all for water conservation, but it just feels that a longer shower might just help. And not cry in the bathroom while the water is running kind of shower. I have cried enough for this life. The other day I did not step out of the house at all but took an additional shower in the evening, which was odd and got me thinking. And I have begun taking long soaks in the tub, which was never my thing. I was always a shower girl. Nothing will wash away the dirt and grime of being cheated on, I guess. Update: received an update from Andrea's sister. Shocked yet strangely peaceful. I traveled to my hometown on Friday to spend the weekend with my family, and I went to church a couple of hours ago where I met Andrea's sister. Her dad had come along too. She took me aside and said she had something to say to me. Could she drop by sometime later? I asked her if it was an update from Andrea and she said yes. I then asked her to tell me what the news is. She then reluctantly divulged that Brad had proposed to Andrea, and that she had accepted. Andrea then asked her family to visit her for the wedding, which is scheduled about 3 months from today. Her family refused to attend the wedding and then told her she was never welcome in their home ever again. Needless to say, the same applies to Brad too. I was shocked when I heard this. Sure, I was thinking up all sorts of situations for those two and the future of their relationship, and I am working through therapy to get over the betrayal. If you had asked me yesterday what my reaction would be if they decided to get married, I would have laughed and said something along the lines of all the best to them. And left it there. But, actually hearing of them getting engaged and planning the wedding scheduled for just 3 months away hit me like a punch in the gut. I could not speak for what seemed like a full minute, and just stood there with my mouth agape. Andrea's sister just stood there, held my hand, and stared at me anxiously. I'm guessing she expected me to faint or in the very least sit down and ask for a stiff drink. She assured me that no one in the family would ever even talk to them again, and that her mother called her back and told her that if the wedding took place, she would be disowned and forgotten. I'm selfishly happy that they took this particular stand, and although it is not my place, I hope they stick to what they told her. I came home and told my family, and they just took the news silently. My brother gave me a hug and then went back to working on the car. Mother quietly cried for a minute before she gathered herself and went to the kitchen, and my dad said nothing. I don't think that Brad's family knows about this just yet. His sister would have called up for sure if she knew. She hates him and Andrea too, and told him to stay the F out of their home. His mother lives with his sister's family since Brad's dad passed away. But since the last hour or so after the news was shared with my family, I am a lot calmer. I have always been a bit of an astronomy nut, and suddenly I was reminded of binary stars, the ones that revolve around each other and gradually pick up speed and then collide in a massive explosion. That is what I think of when I am reminded of Brad and Andrea. I see them coming closer and closer, and then blowing up each other's lives to pieces. I see them destroying each other, and then nothing will be left of the two of them. Till then, they will be together, running around each other, though unloved and unwelcomed by everyone else. Alone and unwanted. What a wasted life that will be. I'm 100 times luckier. I plan to get drunk tonight. Update: Brad and Andrea are done for. And he gave her the same ring he gave me. I'm doing well so far. 2+ weeks of therapy later, I think there is an improvement. Therapy is working, but it is a long, drawn-out process. My therapist thinks I have done everything right so far, but there is still a lot more to deal with. I spoke to Brad's sister yesterday and discovered that he has not disclosed the engagement to his family yet. As far as his family is concerned, the two of them are eloping. What a spineless coward and a waste of humanity. She also said that he will be cut off from his mother's will. Brad's dad owned a couple of buildings and some land in SoCal, the ownership of which was passed down the family. After his demise in 2019, Brad's mother and sister began handling these assets. Brad was approached several times to help take over their upkeep, but he refused, though he did insist that his share of the rent from the buildings be sent to his bank account each month. Though there was some pressure from Brad to sell, they did not relent. She said that her mother has all but altered the will, and he will be soon cut off. They might even take preemptive legal action to ensure it stays that way. It is official, they want nothing to do with Brad anymore. I met Andrea's sister yesterday and she showed me some pics that Andrea had sent her. Apparently, Brad told her that his family is refusing to attend the wedding, and she went hysterical. She sent some pics to her family in a desperate attempt to get them to attend. They looked so fake together in them. It was like someone held a gun to both their heads and made them pose. And he gave her the same ring he gave me when he proposed. When I left the apartment we shared, I was in such a mess that I did not think of taking the ring away with me. I took it off and kept it on a coffee table. Turns out he proposed to her with the filth I left behind. When I saw the pics that Andrea had shared with her sister, I could not help but laugh. I bet Andrea thinks it was store-bought just for her. Bursting that bubble will be fun. Update: Andrea might be pregnant, and Brad is flat broke. This keeps getting better and better. So I got this news last night. Andrea and Brad are on the move, friends-wise. They have reached out to colleagues in the hope of making some new friends and have gone on a couple of double dates. After one such date, a woman they socialized with remarked at work the next day that Andrea refused to drink alcohol. When probed, she made an excuse about acidity. Brad has been very supportive, she said, and gave his arm a squeeze. He gave her a smile in return. Obviously, this woman is no fool. She immediately added up the numbers and told one of my friends hooray for friends and shared bathroom breaks. What transpired the previous night? Not a visible glow yet, but Andrea stuck to a salad with too much dressing and extra croutons. I know that's her go-to comfort food, something she absolutely has to eat when something is wrong, or when something is unexpected, like a pregnancy. On another note, Brad reached out to his sister asking for some money. His expenses have shot through the roof ever since he moved in with her, he said. She expects him to pay rent, and they eat out at least 3 days a week. She has begun pressuring him to get her a new ring too. His sister refused to loan him any and told him he had to stop calling since his sister and mother have all but severed ties with him. She also reminded him that he was the one whose infidelity led to all this. He then asked when will they begin to sell the various properties they have in SoCal, and she replied that he did not need to know. She then hung up the call as he began to go crazy. As tasty as these updates are, I think I should stop hanging out with Andrea's sister. And maybe tell Brad's sister not to call me anymore, as our lives have long been on diverging lanes. But not yet. I think I will listen to just a few more updates, and then it's goodbye. I love this new ride I am on. It is thrilling, exhilarating, and has brought me nothing but good news. Update: the mind wanders. Damn you, brain. I am sort of torn here. On one side, I have my family, my friends, my work, and therapy pushing me in the right direction. My family is very happy that I am with them despite the circumstances that led me back into their open arms. My friends would slay demons for me any day of the week. My appreciative team sent me a basket of goodies to express how good of a boss I am, and my therapist is delighted with how far I have come. And I know I made the decision to take the high road. I left Brad and Andrea alone because hanging on to them or their memories in any way would be detrimental to my mental health, and that leaving them alone with each other is the way to go. I was delighted when news of their squabbling reached me, not gonna lie, and when their respective families cut ties with them. They are still slated to get married in a couple of months, and it will be the shotgun wedding that my quiet small town will be beautifully scandalized by when the news breaks. And break it will. So why is it that when I go a week and some without any update about these two cretins, I become restless? I almost reached out to my friends on Sunday asking them if they knew anything new about them. And then I deleted the text from the group before I hit send. Maybe nothing has happened yet. Or maybe something has, and they are keeping it from me because it is insignificant. Time will tell. Anyway, here's to a new day. I know it will be better than yesterday. Update: call me evil. I don't care. A bit of a summary here. I am Megan, F28. Brad M31 was my ex-fiancé who cheated with Andrea F27, who used to be my best friend since we both were like 12 years old. She is now pregnant, and their wedding date has been fixed. It is about 2 months away. I moved from San Francisco back to my parents' place in a small town in the south, and I am attending therapy while working from home. Andrea's family lives less than a mile away from my parents' home, and they have known us since Adam. Brad is from SoCal, born and raised. Admittedly, this is a super short summary. So many things have been said, but that paragraph above captures it adequately, I guess. Please read my previous posts if you'd like the dirty details. Both their families had informed me that they would not attend the wedding and that these two people were now dead to them. I made it clear to both families, do not miss the wedding on my account. If you feel like attending it, please do. I never told them, directly or otherwise, to miss the wedding. It was a decision that they themselves made. I always thought that though they promised me they would not attend, they would eventually come around because of the baby. After all, nothing tugs on the heartstrings better. And while I would have been initially unhappy that they eventually did attend, I knew I would understand in time. Everything was going well, till this happened. The alternative was that they would not attend the wedding, but a few months down the road they would reconcile if the baby would be born by then. I was okay with that too. After all, I do not control these folks. Brad and Andrea tried to reach out to me last week in a desperate flurry of texts and calls from different numbers. By my reckoning, at least 6 different numbers were used. I began blocking them as soon as I knew it was them, but they did get a message across to Andrea's family, who then forwarded the message to me. In it, they called me selfish and vengeful, and that my selfish acts were preventing their families from attending their dream wedding. I was being immature and idiotic and had no right to destroy their special day. They said I was responsible for their families not attending the wedding. Not true. I never told them not to attend and said that I was always welcome to. In fact, listen to this, y'all. If I attended their wedding and convinced both families to attend as well, and if they ever had a daughter in the future, they would name her after me. They are expecting a son now. My blood boiled when I read all of that. And now I know what has to be done. I will do everything in my power to ensure that both families do not attend. These two insects will be alone that day. They might be able to beg some people to attend and bribe them with catered food, but they will be utterly alone and unwanted by both families. So, yeah, tell me I'm an evil person. I might just enjoy it. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, these two insects. I like that essay. Redditor 2, selfishly I want you to do it just so I can read the update. Redditor 3, I don't know about evil. But you need to do it gently as possible. You need to make them believe that it is their idea not to go the families. Because if you make them, they will start to see you as vindictive and then it will blow up in your face and you will gain nothing. Redditor follow-up, make them believe it's their idea. I think this would be the best option. Puppet masters are never seen, but control the entire show. Redditor 4, not evil, you are a person that I rather want to have on my side than on my enemy's side. If I were in your shoes, I would visit both families and tell them how they desperately tried to contact you only to insult you further, call you names and try to make you responsible for the situation they found themselves in. As if it wasn't enough to betray you on such a deep level, they now also want to kick you while you are already on the ground. That is what I would tell them if I were in your shoes. You are not evil, you are hurt and they are taking away the chance from you to heal properly. Redditor follow-up. This right here is what you need to do if you want revenge. You're not doing anything other than informing them of what they, themselves did. You don't need to actively encourage them one way or another when it appears your family has already made up their minds, but you can inform them of what actions they are continually taking to make your life hell, which won't reflect well on them. Don't go overboard and then look like you're the one unhinged. Sometimes less is more. Redditor 5, I giggle at the fact that you will always be a recurring subject in the relationship that marriage is destined to fail. Redditor 6, my SDVXF mom called the pregnant AP because she went and got pregnant after hearing I had a baby and told her that her son better hire a new mother because it will be a cold day in hell if he ever brought her home. Told the son the same. His whole family has stood firmly by me without me telling them to. AP's mum has been trying to frantically call WS mum to try reconcile. It was radio silence from that end. They can enjoy the baby they made while my baby was just 6 months after experiencing 4 losses. They can make each other happy now.